Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. If a government would like to impose or to really get support from the population regarding something that it wants to implement, it has a few methods to do it. I will use a traumatic event, a real event, to say, hey, because of that event, I will have to implement this, and I will do it, and I will, in this case, sign an executive order by the president, let's say, or maybe somehow lobby the lawmakers to really, put it in law. That's one way. For instance, I'll do this because of that event, and this example is clearly available for us. And is from 1933, if you remember. I think it was February 1933, when that bad dude, Adolf, used the Reichstag fire in order to, make it illegal for any other party to be around. So the communists did it. I will protect you, but in order to protect you, I will have to get me some new powers, okay? And that's the way he did it, and you know what followed. So that's a way, a real event, the fire of the Reichstag, one building in one town, prompted this guy to say, for that reason, I will have to protect you. Now, was that justified? Of course not. But hey, he got it. That's one example. Another one is with small steps. You try here, you try there, and then you're pressed back, and you wait a little bit longer, and you come back, and eventually you wait for another event, and then you're gonna burst into the room and say, hey, I can help you. I can help you with this. Remember the one that you didn't like a year ago? Now you're gonna like it because the new circumstances dictate new methods, and this is the new method, and it's everything for you. And remember, they start slowly, and it seems like Ukraine is about to implement, or at least to internalize, some Western values, new Western values, and the Western values are getting doped. And when you get doped, then you don't pay too much attention to what the government does. And, that's why, hey, legalize this, legalize that, you dope yourselves over there, and we're going to do whatever we want. It's easier to control. Got that? So what happened here? We have an article from the Telegraph, and it says that Ukraine will legalize cannabis to help war-wounded cope with trauma. All right, well, Ukraine will legalize marijuana to help. It's for help. War-wounded cope with trauma. My question is, what happened to the medication they already have for that? For depression, anxiety, and all that? That's a lot of it over there. Well, all those amphetamines and barbiturates and all that. What's going on with those ones? Why are they not helping anymore? This is the small step for mankind, all right? This is just the foot in the door. Legalize it to help just the poor wounded cope with trauma. How about counseling? I know that these guys used to have, counseling, therapy, psychologists, counselors. What's going on with those? They don't work anymore? That is just the first step to legalize it to the whole population. Which, by the way, I have no problem with that. I have only a problem with this. If you do that, I have a problem with this. Actions have consequences. And I would like people to be responsible for their consequences coming from their action. For instance, if someone commits a crime under the influence, I want that penalty to be 4 times worse than without being under the influence. Why? Because I would like people to develop self or personal responsibility. I want people to have personal responsibility, not the government telling us, and hey, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this, I will take care of you. I will take care of you. No personal responsibility, you will just know you can't do that, and that's all you need to know. Don't cross the street, all right? A car may hit you. You have to think about it. You have to analyze it. You don't have to be doped and you're not gonna cross it. But the government tells you, bam, you can't get out of the house because a car might hit you. Well, you can't. We can't, honey, we can't go. Big Daddy said we can't do it. Okay, honey, we stay home and we gonna order from Amazon, okay? Yes, change the channel. Yeah, bring the beer. All right. Happy consumers. This is good. All right, or we're gonna get to that one. 2 lines over there or 3 lines, how many you want? Then we're gonna get to that one. The problem is, when that happens, these guys are going to use it when crime occurs. These guys are going to use that as a justification. Hey, I was high. And the judge say, oh, okay, well, it's all right. No personal responsibility. I'm against that one. So, I don't care how much you use if you don't hurt anybody. Don't infringe anybody's liberties and freedoms. I'm good. You can trash yourself how much you want. But if you have children and you have this and that, I think personal responsibility should be still the mother of saving your butt. So let's read what arguments these guys bring, because this is going to be first probably medical, and then it's going to be for everyone. That's how they did it in the United States, little by little. Remember, small steps. Ukrainian MPs have voted to legalize marijuana to help war veterans cope with physical and mental trauma. Well, how about, as I said, counseling and medications that worked until today. The bill to allow marijuana for medical use sailed through its first reading on Thursday with 268 out of 344 lawmakers supporting the legislation. It now needs to pass a second reading in the parliament before being sent to Zelensky to sign the law. That's going to happen. The overwhelming support for cannabis for medical use marks a turnaround in attitudes towards the drug since Russia invaded Ukraine. So this is the Reichstag fire. You see, under this Reichstag fire, they're gonna make it legal just for medical use first, and then anybody else. All right, my friends. It says in 2021, the same bill was easily defeated. They still had sense over there, Now cannabis is seen as an effective alternative to other prescription drugs, and there are numerous over there, numerous drugs to treat the thousands. They don't treat. These things don't treat shit. They keep you functioning, and functioning at a certain level. They treat what? They treat the depression, are you telling me? If you treat the depression, then you use it a few times and then you're treated, right? The thousands of soldiers and civilians physically and mentally harmed by the war. Veterans and wounded use marijuana, and the legislature wants its use legalized. Oh, so these guys already use it? Okay. The head of the Kiev School of Economics said, and this must be a kind of a god, Timofey Milovanov. Anyway, and then here they tell us, see, in the name of all this, people killed and people injured and hurt and all that, we need to legalize it. It's for your own benefit, my friends, for your benefits. Alright, so supporters of legalizing marijuana for medical use have said that it can alleviate, not cure or anything, pain and post-traumatic stress disorder, and it is often more safe than prescription opioids. Opioids, there you get acid amphetamines, but anyway. And here they give us the reasons, and all for it. Dope yourself as much as you want. If you need it, if you don't need it, just my point is this. Remember when it was that thing, hey, we just want to be, like you guys. We don't want to be treated differently. Remember? That was the whole thing. We just don't want to be stigmatized. Left alone. We just want to do our own thing, and that's it. And from that, then we wanted that, and then we wanted that, and then we wanted that, and right now you can't even say you disagree with that. You can't even say it. If you don't show enough still applauding to their parades, you are a bad person. It started from the same thing, little thing. We just want to be left alone. We don't want to be hurt. Okay, and from that, turn into that, blah, 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 and now it's like, if you don't agree and you're not enthusiastic enough, you're a hater. So the same thing with marijuana. They start with this. And I guarantee you, if you're going to be around here, I guarantee you in no time, so if Ukraine still survives and it's going to be a nation and a country under the same European values, these guys in no more than 5 years will legalize it for the entire population. No more than 5 years. Why? I looked at the United States of America. And these guys are following because the Americans are progressive. They know everything the best. All right, my friends. As I said, use it, but the penalties should be 4 times for people under the influence. Because I think you have 2 strikes, not only 1. Not only the crime, you have the other one because you allowed yourself to lose personal responsibility. And after all, nobody should take care of you. You are in charge of your destiny, and you are in charge of your BS as well. Thank you. And you're not hurting anybody else who is responsible. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.